In the dark, dark tomb there was a dark, dark street, and in the dark, dark street there was a dark, dark office. In the dark, dark office there were some dark, dark stairs, and down the dark, dark stairs there was a dark, dark room, and in the dark, dark room was where the worst wrestling tropes go to die.
Hello, I'm Ross from Cultaholic.com and welcome to Straight to Hell, a brand new show where my illustrious guest offers up a list of their pet peeves from the world of professional wrestling. Then I get to decide which one of those things goes straight to hell to rest for all eternity alongside Katie Vick and Tyson Kidd's weird little fringe thing. This is nothing like BBC's Room 101. Joining me today is Maffew of Botchamania fame and Maffew of Cultaholic Wrestling Podcast fame. Gotta get the plug in there. Maffew, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you very much for that fabulous introduction, Ross.
Not a problem.
Sounds very natural.
Rehearsed 100 times.
Yeah, you can't tell. It's fantastic to be here at this average Dota player's basement. And yes, I am wearing my nice shirt.
I was going to say we should probably address the pug in the room.
The pug in the room.
What is that?
It's a somewhat ironic t-shirt my dad got me. And I knew you wanted me to wear my best shirt, so
why not, yeah.
And it's also make sure my dad doesn't watch this, because he asked me one time, "Oh son, what type of dog would you like to own if you like any type of dog?" And he's a big greyhound guy, so I assume he was wanting me to say, "Oh, greyhound, Dad, of course." Now, pug dog.
I'm a dog guy, Maffew. Love dogs, me. But if one breed of dog goes straight to hell, I'm going to send a pug.
Is that the sequel that all dogs go to heaven? Pugs go to hell.
Pugs go to hell.
That'll be somebody's t-shirt. Like,
it's cruel to own them, isn't it? Because they're constantly in pain, apparently, according to the internet. And they're ugly. Kettle pot black, I know, but you know.
See, I've read that they're bred for their ugliness, but I think that's just one of these things where you're supposed to, the pet is supposed to be like the owner, you know, ugly and constantly wants to die.
So if you're ugly and you want to die, buy a pug.
Yeah.
You'll get there quicker. So let's explain how this is going to go and do. Maffew's going to suggest 5 things which do his nutting. We'll discuss them, we'll have a bit of bants, a few laughs. We might cry, who knows what will happen. Then at the end I'll decide whether, you know, 3, 2, 1, 4, or all 5 of them will go straight to hell by living out a childhood fantasy and pushing this big red button, which will definitely not start a nuclear war. So let's get cracking with the knacking. Maffew, your first
cracking with the knacking. I remember that.
Bo Selector, Ant and Deck. It's like the modern day embodiment, isn't it? Ant.
I'm Bo, your selector. Yeah, this mask comes off.
So your first nomination to go straight to hell, please.
See, I'm very flattered that I've been asked to do this, because I'm so used to watching crap and accepting it and going, yeah.
You get numb to it, don't you? I've found that as well. I don't know what's good. I know what's good when it's really good. When it's like sort of teetering, don't know what's good because I'm numb to everything now.
Right. You know, this in the Matrix where he's going, I don't even see the numbers anymore. I might tweet that, gif that, make an ending of that. So when you said, what the things you hate about wrestling, I'm like, oh, it's all good. I'm like, no, that can't be right. Like, so one thing, just to start off, nice, easy, you know, thing to cleanse the platter. I don't know when this happened. I want to blame Rick Rude, but he's a legend, so I kind of... Alright, Ross, let's say he's dead. He said he can't
live the dead.
He said he can't sue. Alright, Ross, if I'm wrestling you one-on-one in a match, any company, and I decide, alright, enough's enough, and I kick you in the knackers, and the referee sees it, he goes, DQ, right? Okay. If I give you an atomic drop or a Manhattan drop, and you go, "Oh, me cock," loud as possible, and the referee goes, "That's all right." What is that about? Because it used to be like the coccyx would get sold, or one of the back, are they right? Tell I know the body.
The tailbone. I broke my tailbone. Kurt Angle.
Did he break the tailbone?
It's that little video. Don't try this at home. I think I broke my tailbone. Do you remember?
I remember he used to go, "My left knee," and again it's like you're not supposed to laugh, but everyone else just like, "I nearly died. I broke my tailbone. My knee." Like, come on, Ray. Yeah. So explain that to me, Ross.
Well, this is something I've often pondered as well. Is just the physics of that move, because as a man, I know that things dangle.
Yes.
Things do dangle, but when, you know, obviously wrestlers have them tucked up underneath, but still, there's still. What's the opposite of protrude? stick out.
Intrude.
They still stick out, don't they? So when the knee comes into contact with the under crevice of the body,
Under crevice.
the ballocks are still going to get it in the face, aren't they?
Yes. The teabagged.
The knee will get teabagged.
Yes.
The thigh is teabagged by the man taking the move.
Yes, I think that checks out.
So yeah, so technically it should be a disqualification,
Right.
Because the ballocks have come into contact with the thigh, but it's not. So I don't know what to say now.
Yeah.
Because you've made a very good point.
Yeah, and I think everyone's just accepted this. But you go to shows now, like indie shows or whatever, and the guy will be like, oh, hamming it up, and you're like, wait a minute, like, hang on. I mean, I know the guy, but like, nah, I mean, wrestling rules.
I mean, as we all know, the wrestling rule book is changed by the second. Things are taken out, things are put in just to suit the narrative of any story they're looking to tell, any of these companies.
Yeah, it's sometimes a triple threat can end with the referee counting the men down, and sometimes it's like, oh, yeah, why's he counting? A three-way draw. Technically, it can happen. Oh, like, this always comes up because it happens in WWE a few times. Dean Ambrose versus Triple H. No DQ. This is point number 2. I knew if I started ranting about one thing, it would segue into another thing. So do you want to stop it and then, like, decide if you want to hit the button, or
I don't know. Should we have a little bit more chit-chat about atomic drops?
Yes.
What other things can we talk about?
Pull back the emotions for the other thing. And go like, oh, screw my hand.
Tell you, chopping at the bit, though. Stick around, viewers. It's going to be hard-hitting stuff.
Coffee's hitting in.
But I very much see your point. But
good.
It's something that I don't know a lot of people have the same gripe. If it's just because we're weathered individuals, sick of the sight of certain things.
Oh, in that case, can I put the people that don't agree with me in this as well?
You're just
straight to hell.
Every single point.
Yeah. If you disagree with me, you're going to go straight to hell. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, though. Should I make the executive call now?
Well, I'm trying
to think. Do you want to be just like teased a bit, you know? Rubbed in all the right places. It's up to you. We can.
I do look a good rubbing. We'll see what else
because
I'm going to go by, because that might be tame by the.
I can certainly see your point, but I'm worried that if we set a precedent of putting an atomic drop in, people might think, "Oh, this is pish." This.
Hey, okay.
What am I watching?
I know. Like, start off nice and simple. This is the pre-show. This is the 205 live match.
We're easing in. You're done.
Cultaholic main event.
Foreplay.
Not that main event. The main event show.
Foreplay.
Yeah, okay.
We're easing in, and then all of a sudden. So we'll start with a bit of a ball tickler. Is it going in? Is it not? Who knows? Maffew, your second nominee, please. I love a bit of a ball tickle.
Right, second nomination. A bit more serious this time, but not really. Alright, WTV at the minute. They have Stephanie McMahon and they have Triple H. And obviously, they're really behind the scenes important for WWE.
Yep.
They are also on-screen personalities where, they're evil, the Macbeth and Lady Macbeth and all the other analogies. Recently, around WrestleMania time, they'll come out and with no transition whatsoever, no, like, promo going from, alright, I'm no longer evil Triple H that hates Seth freaking Rollins or whatever. They'll get into, oh, hey, WWE has this. Stephanie McMahon's been doing this for all the build-up to the Women's Royal Rumble match.
That was a really bad example of that, what you're talking about there, when she came for the Rumble. And it was all roses, everyone was great, she was humble, and Michael Owen. Really bad at commentary.
Yes.
Sure, she is, she might go over the top rope. But, the Stephanie McMahon character we know and loathe, she should have been going, I'm the greatest, these are all bitches.
Yeah, right. Does it have to be her doing it? Can we not have another character?
It would have made more sense to have somebody like a former champion come in or something. I know she is as well, but she's also a massive bitch.
Right.
Likes.
But so you feel really bad, like she comes out and you're like, boo! I'm here to announce the first ever Women's Royal Rumble. Yay! Like, there's like, wait a minute, what? So she came up with a commentary. Go, boo! And then she's like, I'm very happy to be here. wait a minute, wait.
The impression's spot on, by the way.
Oh, thank you, I've been practicing. Yeah, so like Triple H in NXT, it's like it's like Earth 2 and Earth 3 in the comics. Like, oh no, this is alright, this is good Triple H. We started this. It's like, okay. And then on Sunday I'm gonna cripple Seth Rollins. Like, yay, boo. Like, there can't be anybody else that can have in the management position. A coachman, a Booker T, somebody else.
Booker T.
Actually, yeah, you know, maybe
I
not
don't
Booker
miss
T.
him at all. To be honest with you, Stephanie McMahon is a lost cause with me because I find myself, it's an irrational hatred I have for her as a human being, bred from this character she plays on TV, which I know is like
exactly.
me being worked like a mark, as they would say.
Who?
But you see this, Mark Calloway. But you see Mark Henry, Mark Wrestling. But you see this the thing on Twitter. I can't say the word, but I'm going to try to.
Go on.
Philanthropy. Every time I fail, philanthropy is the new marketing. Stephanie McMahon, 2016. 15.
Philanthropy. Is he an NXT dude? I've heard of him.
Yeah. Phil Mitchell is the new marketing. You couple that sort of bollocks with the character she plays on TV, and I find it entirely dislikable.
Yeah, I'll go with that, and yeah, because of years of watching it being on.
There is a thing about Triple H as well. Right. It's the split personality disorder. It's the way they treat NXT. Sometimes treat NXT, it's its own brand. Sometimes it's linked to the main roster. But Triple H, as you say, comes out. He's the Princess Diana of professional wrestling. All of a sudden, he's breeding all these. He can do no wrong.
That was way better than my Lady Macbeth.
Then he comes out on the main roster shows, and we're supposed to boo, and it doesn't make any sense. And I strongly agree with you.
Yes.
So there's no bantering to be had here.
Oh no.
It's happening.
What are we going to do?
I don't know what the transition is.
It's going to be good.
So I can't believe this, Maffew. The first ever thing I'm sending straight to hell is Stephanie McMahon and Triple H's split personality disorders. Oh!
Oh!
It's burning in hell. It's amazing.
Oh God!
What a moment here on Cultaholic.
Wow! Not since Ed Wood have I seen such astonishment on screen.
So yes, we are now better than John Bon Jovi because we are over halfway there. Yes, I am persisting with this horrible joke because this is the third take. We are living on a prayer nonetheless, though. Maffew,
yes,
third choice, please, and don't make it John Bon Jovi being over halfway there.
This is the first time we've done this take. I understand what you're talking about. My thing, to sound like an old misery guts, is the current trend in WWE of having matches focused around having star ratings, then interacting with the crowd or doing anything else. I don't know if this is because they had a massive inclusion of indie wrestlers, which did not used to happen. I'm very happy with the match quality and all that. Nothing, I'm not I wish they just did atomic drops and Manhattan drops, because that would contradict my first point. But Seth Rollins is a good example of that. In fact, he could be the poster child for that if there's a picture of him. Maybe his flaming tights here, because he's going straight to hell. Ha ha ha. Ha ha! Hell is hot. And he's the perfect example of this, of someone who is liked by a lot of people. People go, yay! And they go, why do you like him? He does cool moves. I'm like, right.
Grow. Yeah,
I'm like, yeah, he does do cool moves. He also loves working his own knee during matches.
And then forgetting about it.
Yeah.
That if I could send a thing straight to hell, it'd be him forgetting his knee hurts and then just flying off the top rope and doing 7 pirouettes in the air.
Yes, that is one of the reasons why I'm saying that. And also, WWE right now, there's not a lot of people who are actually interacting with the crowd, or, well, I don't say work in the crowd, but I'm not a wrestler, but you know what I mean. So, Cesaro and Sheamus are having great matches, but apart from their entrance, it's like, alright, cool, we're not going to talk to you now. Audience, sit down and shut up.
They're clearly under strict instruction not to, aren't they?
Right.
Which is really weird. Because they're all about WWE Universe, come to wrestling shows. It's not like going to the theatre. You can say what you want, bring a beach ball. Well, up until last Sunday, or Monday, when John Cena got a little tear in his eye. Yeah. Poor John.
With a tear in my eye. See, it's weird to me because the best wrestling matches that I like going to see live are the ones where I get the boo and cheer and make noise and be like, ugh. That's half the reason for going to wrestling shows. So, and I've told this to people and they've gone, nah. So I'm going to say it on camera so it's on record for me. If the choice is between watching a Prince Amin match and who do people like?
Seth Rollins.
No. Let's put the ante. Will Ospreay. I am picking the Prince Amin match because Will Ospreay and those type of wrestlers, wow, look at the gymnastics, look at the flips. But a lot of the time, you just, okay, I don't care who wins. No, it's going to be a great match. No, but
it's the journey to that victory, not the thing that's...
I have no dog in this fight. I don't care who comes out the wrestle Prince of Meme. It could be Starling. I'm like, come on, Starling, get him! Because that's the. I'm like, yeah, I hate you, Prince of Meme. Yeah, that's the emotion I like in it. So you're watching WWE now, and it's like, there's so much of it now. It's like, well, it's gonna be a great match. All right, that's nice, but I want some sizzle with my steak, pal.
I know what you mean. It's cinematic of wrestling these days, isn't it? Because the characters has taken a back seat, and it is the work rate era they call it, isn't it?
Yeah, the work rate, which should be great, but that's not what I usually watch WWE for. I mean, we had like what, 5 great matches on Raw in terms of the technicality, the amount of dives they were. Oh yeah, how about suicide dives could be in Straight to Hell as well? Just because it's go get the star ratings. Like, okay, even though the crowd doesn't pop for them because they've seen 900 of them. God, I sound like an old, ratchety person here. I love it.
Keep going. Vent.
I am. It's great. It's therapeutic. Fans should be allowed to be fans and be like, yeah. So I want the wrestlers to be acting like wrestlers. I don't want the wrestlers to be acting like fans and be like, we're gonna have a 5-star match. Like, what? Why would you care about that? Like, from the character of the like, when you watch a film. You don't want to watch a film where they go, I want to get an Oscar for this. I want to get an Academy Award for this performance.
Compelling argument made, pal. But it's decision time. And because it's such a double-edged sword, I agree with the... Once you've seen a good match, you've seen a good match, and so many good matches eventually start to weigh you down. And I agree that there's not enough characters in wrestling. But then, you look at certain segments WWE do, which, you know, is the promotion we all primarily watch, I guess. And they can't do the character stuff well anymore. So I'd rather watch a good match.
Oh, that is a good argument, actually.
Than a segment involving, like, the old day, for example.
All right, but that would counter that argument, like Ace Attorney, or his name is. I almost said Ace Ventura. Yeah, I almost said Ace Ventura, the popular Capcom character. With those the exception rather than the rule. The New Day I love. Their matches are secondary to me watching them.
Yes.
Because I like the characters. Elias on Raw. Is he a work rate machine or whatever we're allowed to call him? Nah. Do I love him? Absolutely. Because it's variety.
It is hard for WWE though, because we're so far into like gimmicks being a thing that there's not really a lot of original captivating gimmicks you can go and find, is there? Like Velveteen Dream, for example, they've captured lightning in a bottle.
Exactly. Look how much the NXT crowd loved him.
Yeah.
And probably still will love him because it's a character.
It took a while though, didn't it? Like, I don't think WWE want to give that chance to the mainstream casual fan. I think it took a little while for the Velveteen Dream just for the penny to drop to everybody.
Yeah, he appeared as a Prince-esque character not long after he died, and then wasn't used for months. And it's only the last few months he's re-emerged with a character and a gimmick and a purpose. Like, oh, that's great.
Yeah.
So that's what I like the characters as much as the work rate because why do I keep saying work rate? Yeah, I'm Meltzer, as you can tell.
As if Big Dave would wear that shirt. That would be great though, that sight of Big Dave and his guns.
Big Dave, bigger than all the wrestlers. Pug dog t-shirt.
Muscular pug.
Yeah, well, pug dogs are like the best dogs. It says it matter of factly. But yeah, that's the thing. And yeah, so it's so easy to become detuned, desensitized, whatever word you want to use, to wrestling when it's all just match quality, and it's alright. As we saw on Raw, I was trying to do the point earlier, but I butchered it. There were 5 or so great matches, and Cena versus Balor was the main event. Crowd was done.
You've seen it all by then, haven't you?
Yeah, it should have. I mean, God, it shouldn't have been. But you know, Cena giving him an AA and pinning him, like ha ha ha. But it didn't need to be like the super mega classic because we've already had that amount. So I think they are in danger of almost burning the crowd out. And hopefully the wrestlers are all right because the wear and tear on the bodies. You know, I shouldn't be watching wrestling going. I should be watching it going, yeah, great match, gonna kick his ass. Yeah, not. Oh, I hope they're all right because they're wrestling that day or the next day and that blah 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 blah.
Sheamus on Monday night for me, it was just like, oh God, the poor old man.
Right,
he was grimacing, bless him, and he should be out there being a warrior. It's a hard point. This I can see
because what we saying like we don't want good wrestling, but just like it doesn't have to be
all the time.
That's the emphasis. Like, what do? We haven't got much planned. Hey, just have the guys go out and have like a 15-minute match. It's like, okay, cool. You're making me hate watching a 50. Oh, this match is 20 minutes. Oh no.
It's decision time. Because of the fear I've got. If they were to take away the matches and replace it with segments like the old day, that fear is keeping your point out of hell. Just.
The old day. The old day is the emphasis on this. That's the winner.
What? This is my life, Alexa Bliss. Another recent example. The fear.
This is my life. That's another Bon Jovi reference.
Do you remember when they're like, Bailey, you're a virgin? Do you remember that segment where Alexa Bliss brought out the old boyfriend and stuff?
The two
Stuff
worst
like
segments of the year.
I know,
and the
but
reason
the fear,
for you arguing
if they take away the wrestling,
52 weeks of Raw, and you pick those two segments. Never mind, This Is Your Life with Kevin Owens and Jericho.
That is my fear. If they were to take away all of the good wrestling, what would they replace it with? And that is shown.
This Is My Old Life, starring Bliss, New Day, and...
But you look at the Festival of Friendship one, and everyone loved that so much because it's a rarity.
Mantar.
That they nail those type of segments these days. Do you not think? It was so good, but it's so rare that they do something so good as that.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you're right. I think I'm being quite arrogant here and be like, they should have great characters instead. You're like, well, guess what, pal? It's probably a lot easier to have a 20-minute great match.
Exactly. It's hard to write stuff, isn't it?
Yeah.
So because of that
apparently.
Because of the fear that has us all crippled in life, I'm going to keep the work rate era out of Straight to Hell.
No.
Out of Straight to Hell? Out of hell. So we started with the atomic drop, Manhattan drop, whatever you want to call it, the foreplay. We're gradually working our way up towards the climax now. The business end of the episode. Maffew, your fourth choice.
Why are we going with all the sex analogies?
Why? It's easy. It's easy relatable to all these people.
Oh, yeah.
Please say it is.
Oh, yeah. Whoa, we're two fine fellas, you and me. Let me think. I'm going to say this, and straight away I'm going to push the button, but give me a second. Wrestling fans. And that's the fourth bit. Alright, no.
What type of wrestling
Let me explain.
fan?
Alex, I'll need to, obviously. What's that thing? I forget some great quote about knowledge without wisdom ain't worth a hill of beans. I think it was Plato who said that. It's quite weird. Wrestling fans know a lot because we have an access to a lot of information. We have access to a lot of YouTube, the network, all this quality wrestling available. Great. You know a bunch of stuff. That's fantastic. You still need to realise, just because shows like this exist, where people who have no interest talking about wrestling are talking about wrestling. Hi, how you doing? That does not necessarily mean you should watch wrestling and dislike it because it's not what you want it to be. That's not. We all fantasy book. We all put the little Booker hat on, not the Booker T hat. That'd be great if there was one.
Little G.I. Joe.
G.I. Bro.
G.I. Bro, I beg my pardon.
Whenever I meet a fan, this will probably kill any time anyone who
dangerous territory here.
They'll come up to me and they'll go, "How you doing, Maffew? Botchamania sucks, but you haven't been relevant since 2010." He goes, I know, it's good to see you too." And I'm like, alright, what do you think about the build up to Mania? And I could say anything right there because they're not paying attention, they don't care. I can say, I hope they book Father Ted versus Roman Reigns. Doesn't matter. They go, cool, here's what I think. It's straight away, they've already fantasy planned it, they've already fantasy booked it, and then you'll see them on Twitter going, this is crap, this is crap, this is crap. I wanted it this way. It's like those fans who saw The Last Jedi, who were fuming because it wasn't what they thought. I thought they were going to reference Star Wars Episode 1 Race of the N64. Bollocks film, who watches this crap? Breaks box office records. So you're alright going, because I think I'm alright, justified, and you can obviously put me in next time you're on the show, when I say, hang on, what did I go one time? The Dudleys were baddies, not like Same Heel, were baddies on the build-up to WrestleMania they were appearing on. And then, inexplicably, they worked good. Worked good. They work very good. They work good, guys, on the show. I'm like, hang on, all the build-up's been them being horrible people. Why are they good now? And even Bob Ray Dudley said, "Shut up, nerd," on Twitter. But I'm like, but wait a minute. Like, I mean, I think that's an alright thing to complain about the thing that is actually happening on screen. But then to go, I've read the rumours. I've clicked on fishermansuplex.org. I have, chairshot to the friggin' heed.net says the rumour is. You're like, alright, cool. So what do you think about these rumours? What do you think about the speculation? What do you think? Like,
they're exactly that, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean,
rumours and speculation.
Right. Because we live in this world where we need to have an opinion straight away, like seconds apart from each other. You're like, well, no, I like to watch the show and base it on what's actually happened, rather than the stuff we're making up in our head. Because I hear voices in my head that talk to me. Yeah, so that was a very long-winded way of saying
no, I know exactly what you mean.
Just remember to know how the wrestling is supposed to work. You are, at the basis level, supposed to watch the wrestling, go, I like this, I'm going to carry on watching it. Or go, well, that was a pile of nothing. There, PG. I'm not going to watch it. That's it. It's not to be used as an assessment of how clever and how many podcasts you listen to. It is supposed to be enjoyed. Yeah. And I think a lot of people forget that. Maybe they get so caught up in the Twittering and the Facebooking. And I know I've done it on more than one occasion. You probably have as well.
I mean, people are immediately going to call us hypocrites, aren't they? Because we...
Oh, I am the biggest hypocrite.
We have made our names by picking faults with wrestling and pointing out the mistakes, etc. But I like to think that we both do it.
Yes.
With a little wink. A little bit of tongue in cheek.
I would hope so, because I've seen other people try to imitate me, and you're like, oh, great.
But it is a weird paradox we live in.
Right.
Because in any other form of entertainment, if you just fall out of love with it, you just stop watching, don't you? But wrestling, somehow, I don't know whether it's because it's so frequent, whether because it's everywhere, it's every day of the week.
Yeah.
It's on Twitter, it's on Facebook Live, it's on the network, it's on YouTube, it's everywhere.
Your eyes, you get in bed, it's there, playing. Yeah, and the thing is, sometimes the wrestling company's responsibility when they put the importance of opinion. They go, that's what you think, using the hashtags. You go, hashtag, this was bollocks. It's like, alright, great, thanks. It's like, my opinion's worth it, because they might read it on the air.
Or maybe it's because WWE are all like, well, listen to the fans. Here's Roman Reigns. So
thanks, fans. Yeah, right? It's like,
tickling the balls, aren't they, once again? And then you have to come back for some more tickling of your balls.
What was the Kevin Nash quote? Moving on for you balls, because I'm going to start laughing in a minute. Kevin Nash quote that he says in the timeline shoot, and it was great because Frank the Clown unironically said it in a tweet after the Manhattan Center. Kevin Nash went, best thing about wrestling fans, that was the worst pay-per-view I've ever seen, and I won't be watching another one until next month. Then Frank the Clown, I paid $800. Next time this happens, I expect more for my money. Right, it's that. You're allowed to be a wrestling fan, but again, remember, it's supposed to be fun. It's not, God, you know what, I've had a hard day. I want to shout at something that I think I'm smarter than, so I feel better about myself. This is getting like therapy now. I think I've just described myself in one sentence.
Relax, relax, let it all out. That's what we're here for.
Ciao.
We're all friends here.
In a weird way, I'll back myself up with this. I don't sound like a horrible person. In real life, I have not had that many, if any, bad experiences with fans who have annoyed me or whatever like that. Online, I get so much more done because it's like, well, let me check my mentions. Okay. It's like, oh, right, cool. It turns out I don't mind giving my opinion, but I don't want it repeated back to me. So yes, I don't mind being a hypocrite here by saying this because, again, in real life, you're fine. Tone translates so much better in real life. Online, everyone just sounds like,
So are we saying this is the IWC? Yep.
I'm not going to say the IWC because that's a dead term. It's deader than VHS. It meant something back in the day when the internet was not that common. Now, 3-year-olds have iPhones. Yeah. So what is the IWC? I hate when people... You know what? That can be my fifth point.
I was just trying to surmise it in a nice little...
Oh, right. I'm going to surmise... See, I really suck at being short-winded.
We're not putting all wrestling fans, or nominating all wrestling fans to go straight.
Wrestling fans that disagree with me.
It's just some of you who disagree with Maffew.
You know who you are.
I get what you mean.
Yeah, you. It's watching like this.
The old saying, knowledge is power, and they think they have all this knowledge, and then they...
That was even better than my bit at the start.
I know exactly what you mean, and I wholeheartedly agree, even though I know what I represent and what I do. Here at Cult,
we're allowed it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't hang out with a group of me. Well, I would, but we wouldn't be talking about wrestling.
I do on a daily basis here at work, so...
Oh, God.
But I know what you mean, and I wholeheartedly agree. Just enjoy it a bit more, don't take it too seriously.
Yeah, please remember, it is supposed to be fun.
It is.
And don't try this at home.
A pair of fellas or ladies just pretend to fight in their underwear at the end of the day.
Yeah, so and it's the best thing in the planet.
So let's send that portion of the fan base straight to hell! Watch them. Whoa! If you're getting down, baby, I want it now, baby. Put it on, baby. It's 5, number 5, your 5th choice, please, Maffew. You not enjoyed bit 5 back in the day? I clearly didn't.
I did until then. I like that you've just gone from being, you're right, yeah, to, and no!
Well, you got to hammer it up a bit, you know, it's being on that cusp of annoying, but not overstepping into the annoyingness.
Yeah.
Which I think I'm fair.
You balance the scales of annoyance quite well. I think that's a compliment.
Thank you.
My fifth choice for the Straight to Hell debut episode, that I'm going to try and be less rambly than the others. The cage match.
Is that the website?
Oh no, cagematch.net, great. Oh yeah, they're going to plug, great, yeah.
So the
Fantastic.
match stipulation of the cage.
Yes, it's dead. It's kaput. It's an X stipulation. It is... They should call it what it is now. The match where you're guaranteed one guy's going to jump off onto the other blokes. Because that's all you ever see in cage matches. It used to mean something back in the day when it was, well, you've run away from me. I don't know, Bruno Sammaritano. No, he's a good guy, wasn't he?
Bruno Sammaritano?
That was a horrible pronunciation, by the way. You, Ric Flair.
Wait, it was Flair, Harley Race, was it? That famous one?
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, Harley Race was a bad guy. I can't do anything. This is just generic wrestler from the 70s. Generic wrestler from the 70s to generic bad guy from the 70s. You've run away from me, or you cause a DQ. I want you, you waggling weasel, you. That's what they call it in the 70s. You, I'm gonna get you. I make sure you don't run away from me. And this ass beating, I'm gonna get you in a cage match where there's no way out. And all this. Now people just interfere in it. They casually go, well, up and out, it's not that hard.
Kane lives under the ring when there's a cage match somehow. Every single time now. I know what you mean. It's the evolution of the wrestling business, isn't it? It's sort of...
Right, and that's still match. There. That's still a thing. I mean, like even JJ Security were making interferences. Interferences? That's plural. What was the one? Oh, the Cena versus Wyatt cage match, which was one of the worst of the year.
Oh, and they had the kid on the steps. That
yeah,
one.
I forgot about that bit. Why are you doing this to us?
Was it that one?
Bray Wyatt's going to be a perfect. You're going to be 20 of these episodes. Yeah, so the match is Cena versus Wyatt, and it's the second of 3 matches I believe they have. Oh yeah, because I had the 6-man tag the next show. And Bray can't beat Cena. There's no reason for it other than it was Extreme Rules. So, oh yeah, cage match, sure, it's an easy one. And yeah, Harper, Rowan, interfere. Then Cena beats them both up. Then they go out. Then they come back in again. Cena beats them both up. Then he beats Bray. And then the kid appears, and that's how he beats him. I was like, what?
Then you think they put a lid on it, wouldn't you? Oh, no, wait, they did. It's called Hell in a Cell. That was probably the downfall of the cage match, wasn't it?
Absolutely. It was definitely the WWF attitude to the WWF WrestleMania 2000.
Because Jim Cornette stole the idea from some other promotion, didn't he?
A cage match?
No, for Hell in a Cell, putting the lid on top and making it...
Oh, yeah, the Battle of Atlanta, that you can now see the network that I believe lost for years.
I can see the point, though. There's definitely been some amazing cage matches down the years. I remember one which, I don't know if it's widely received as a good one, was X-Pac versus Chris Jericho from Raw.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Oh, the Raw one. I remember the one they had on pay-per-view.
Sorry, it was not Raw. Whatever one it was.
Oh, okay.
The good one. That was a good one.
Yeah.
Then you have like Kurt Angle. But at the moment, I think I realised that, you know, cage matches, it was War Games for me. I know it was well received, but like Adam Cole's spot off the top, the superplex off the top of the cage.
Yeah.
I thought that was just so contrived in how it was done. I was thinking that whole match was just built at that one moment, which is the point you made at the start, which means I agree with you. Do you remember the superplex off the top?
Yeah, War Games got a weird criticism for me because they went, oh, there's no top on it, it's ruined. I'm like, yeah, it's going to be a big old spot fest. It's going to be the Cage of Deaths of old, and that's a reference no one's going to care about. And I thought it did it very well. So they couldn't have done that with the top, so it's alright. If they change it so it makes it better, I'm alright with it. I'm not
but for me, it sort of telegraphed that was going to happen, the cell roof not being there. And then
but again, it's like, yeah, it's a cage. So it's like, oh, what do we do with the cage? Any psychology now? Is any like so realistically a match would be Braun Strowman versus see they do Big Show versus Braun Strowman because of how high and mighty it looks. But it should be Braun Strowman versus James Ellsworth. That should be it. You little... Oh,
There should
yeah,
be a reason for the cage rather than just throwing 2 men in a cage and saying fight.
Right, it's for it to make sense, but it's just the cage, and you go, oh, cage. It looks cool as hell, and you're right, but no one's wrestling a cage match anymore. It's just a match in a cage.
I think it's a case of like we've seen everything we can see with the cage now. It's like there's nothing new they can do. We've seen the guys go through the panel a couple of times. Big Show being the most recent one. Lashley doing the other one, I think it was.
Yeah, Lashley versus Umaga.
We've seen people off the top. We've seen the run, the race down the side. We've seen it all, haven't we? And there's nothing really. You look at the structure and you're thinking, how can you make it new?
Yeah. One of my favourite finishes was a tag one. Oh, tag cage matches can go to hell. Okay, press a button.
Oh, the Jeff Hardy finish that poor.
None of them make any sense. Yeah, and they're all in escape rules for some reason to be like, well, wait a minute. Whatever. I hate you so much. I'm going to climb over a cage. Like, okay. But the best one was SummerSlam Spectacular, which is the build-up to SummerSlam 93. It was the Steiners versus Money Inc. It's a good match, but it's both team members have to come out. And I think it's the best tag team cage match ever, unless someone can prove otherwise. And I believe it's Scott coming out next, and IRS has gone up the other side. And so Rick goes under IRS and holds him like in electric chair position. So he's coming down, so like no, so he can't touch the floor, and then lands on the other side. And I thought that was a great finish.
Yeah.
But you're right.
We've seen
that was 93. There's only X amount of finishes you can do now that we're not doing them like, oh no, the coward's gonna get a beating. Yeah, like Miz in a cage match should have been perfect, but now it's like that. But see, they can't do that and have it as a main event because then technically it's gonna last 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And Miz is gonna be dead and bleeding and everything else.
But yeah, I can fully see the point you are making, and I agree.
Thank you.
Therefore,
oh yay!
For the third, is it the third time today?
Yes.
We're sending something straight to hell. Whoa!
Yeah.
And we haven't forgot the Manhattan drop / atomic drop is staying out of hell. You've waited all that time to hear me say no. So good for you. Not enough people complain about it for me, so I don't think we can.
Oh, alright, go on. Patreon.com/
We don't
want
to bastardize hell straight away, do we, with an atomic / Manhattan drop?
It's not the move itself, it's the fact that, oh, my bollocks! That's the bit I have issues with. Oh, my tailbone! That's fine, that's fine.
Like, stretched around and tucked up their arse.
Oh! Oh, my conch! Oh, the notcher.
So that is not good.
It's not your balls, and it's not your... Go on.
That is it for the first ever episode of Straight to Hell. Oh. Haven't we had fun? Considering we hate each other according to YouTube comments.
I thought we did a really good impression of liking each other today.
Maffew, where can people find you, support you, do things to you?
After the things I've just said about wrestling fans online, none of that.
Come on.
All the lovely new fans I've got for your Cultaholic, I appreciate, by the way. Twitter.com/Maffewgreg, MAFFEWGREGG. Oh, Botchamania.com. It's not very good, but it works, which is my philosophy for life. I'm not a webmaster guy, and that's it pretty much. My YouTube stuff's all on there. It gets deleted every 5 months, so don't get attached.
Been a pleasure. Thank you for being my guest.
I'm very happy, Ross. I hope other people fill the seat a lot better than I have. We should have been.
I doubt they will. You've been a joy. You can follow me on Twitter at RossOnWrestling. Place to our Patreon page, patreon.com/cultaholic. Anything you can give us will be greatly appreciated and then retitivated into more wonderful content for your viewing pleasure. But most importantly of all, Maffew, leave me button alone.
Aye.
Join us.
Join us.
Join us.